Welcome back to the premier Flat Earth podcast disguised as a Persona 5 series.
So I was watching Deep Space Nine, and I saw there's this Frankie played by Wallace Shawn, who was famous as being inconceivable guy from Princess Bride, and
most famously. But he is also like a stage and screen actor too.
Yes, very. I've actually listened to a play that he a stage play that he wrote by about drone strikes. He's an accomplished writer. We all love his. Yeah.
I don't actually know what Wallace Shawn has been doing for years at this point in time.
I apparently know everything.
Yeah, which is strange. I didn't really realize that you were such a Wallace Shawn fan.
Yeah, I know. It almost seems inconceivable.
Yeah, huh?
Anyway,
Wallace Shawn, I did not actually realize that he was in Deep Space Nine, mostly because, as a Ferengi, he would probably had like a lot of prosthetics and makeup on and everything, and also I watched that show when I was like 12.
Yeah, I recognized him only because of his voice, which is very, very distinctive. If you know what to look for,
even if you don't know what to look for, you can probably pick it out of a crowd.
Yes.
He's a very notable actor in that style.
Voice. A little bit like Randy Newman.
Oh, and also, hey, we get to see the special investigations director actually doing some directing for once, rather than just being evil,
generic
plotting.
Evil plotting. He doesn't have a name still, right?
He does not have a name. Like they even, I said in one of the previous episodes that it's like they never gave a name to the principal either, but they did in the English version. Presumably, they just took that off of his concept art or something, which would be interesting to see, considering it's just he's a character that looks different from everybody else in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just to kind of like kill off as a late narrative convenience, because now the Phantom Thieves are sure. They were already pretty sure that they were being framed.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in all seriousness,
he came and went.
Killing the principal, I didn't think that was too contrived. I thought it was a good, curveball. They just haven't really done much with it. Because it's considering that was, what? In this series, probably 20 episodes ago or something. It was during the Hawaii cast, of course, right? I think
that was the Hawaii cast. In fact, I can go look that up right now because the thumbnail is the principal being shocked at how not far we are. Oh man,
the principal.
Oh man, this series. You said before it started, we can't stop before October. I thought you meant until Halloween that we were going to be doing this series. And I'm like, I hope it's not going to be that long. I'm literally killing myself doing this at this point in time.
Yeah, no, and I just meant that in game we've got 11 more days until Halloween, which is just stupid.
Episode 72. This is episode 86.
Okay, so about 15 episodes ago, they really haven't done much with that. Like the fact that it was a man who died, and there was the calling card of the Phantom Thieves, and
death. Well, we didn't find out about the calling card until Okamura's home was being searched after he died.
Yeah, so we didn't even have a pattern. It wasn't even like the the SVU, CSI, NCIS thing where they show you oh my god, the same calling card that was on the principal was on this Okamura, and then it's just the same, the crazy music plays, and then it's a commercial break.
The other thing that you got to remember is that there have been oh man, that's been one of the things that has vexed me so much over the course of this now, is that there's been very little consistency in anything the Phantom Thieves do, period. Whether it's who's writing the calling cards, whether it's the whole Medjed saga. And at this point in time, the calling cards are they were a big, paraphernalia item that everybody was buying, except I guess they're all now just in the dumpster. Can you just imagine? I want to see some poor shop owner that has to throw out literal tons of Phantom Thief merchandise at this point in time.
Well, what they do in that case is they put it away, they put it aside. It's just excess inventory, just in case they become popular again. So, I mean, if they're unpopular for about 6 months to a year, you just say, okay, it's not coming back. Let's get rid of this. Let's liquidate. But I don't think that's too big a problem.
Have a bunch of give to charity, have like Goodwill, have a bunch of Phantom Thieves shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, do you mean the famous? God, okay, let's actually like think about that for like 1 second here. Imagine like you're in America right now, and you're just like, and somebody says, "Hey, you hear what happened with the Phantom Thieves?" And I'd be like, "Oh, you mean that like really famous group of vigilantes?" Yeah, I remember like last I heard, you couldn't like take a picture of anywhere in Japan without seeing somebody wearing one of their shirts or something. Like hell, there were like politicians that were basing speeches around praising them. Oh yeah, they executed a dude live on television. What?
Oh yeah, that's pretty weird. I guess it's pretty weird.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. Like I just, just that whole thing where it's like you step back for a second and look at what this boy, I didn't think things could be getting weirder in Japan after the whole Medjed thing, where 2 posts on a website had the entire country panicking for a full month. And it's like, oh, you telling me that like a big fad was based on these people that executed a dude live on television?
Well, one thing this game does that's really good is just that they're really good at, keeping the tension really low. It doesn't feel like there's an emergency going on, which is probably realistic. Like, okay, it's just like, yeah, well, let's just keep texting each other. Like, I'm sure everything's gonna blow over. But then it's like everyone else is just like, oh my god, they executed a man on live television. It was the CEO of one of the biggest, burger conglomerates in the nation.
Yeah, an enormous multinational corporation.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, hey, did everybody just forget that it's like they did on live television execute the CEO of one of the largest multinational corporations in the world, basically the modern day Ray Kroc.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is actually just how Ray Kroc died.
He was executed by some extremely popular vigilantes live. I'm just gonna keep saying that over and over. Executed live on television.
Okay, so
by vigilantes.
They're just gonna ask a bunch of generic questions. Oh yeah. By the way, have you heard of the Phantom Thieves?
No, never heard of the Phantom Thieves. It's like, yeah. What about Kamoshida? I don't know. I talked to him like once. That was like he turned himself in like 2 weeks after I started at the school. I barely even knew the guy. Oh man, let me tell you how we met Yusuke Kitagawa. So he was trying to get my friend to strip for him. Haru, it's just like, I don't know, you could just say that you had been friends with her for the entire time. It's like, how would they fucking know?
Yeah. This is such a bad...
The Phantom Thieves, the people that executed that multinational CEO, that executed the modern day Ray Kroc on television? Why would they have anything to do with this school?
This is a really bad interrogation, like even just on its own terms. Like this isn't, I don't even mean like just ask them something that would be like you ask all these people independently and then make sure they have their story straight. Like,
the other thing is, it's just like they are interviewing hundreds of people at the school.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think you need to make like advanced questions, but just like, yeah, it's clearly they were all asking generic questions, and they should have just asked a couple of specific questions. Like, ask if they're associated with the Phantom Thieves. Are you associated with the Phantom Thieves? Do you know who they are? You know, that kind of thing.
Did you execute the modern day Ray Kroc live on television?
Yeah, and I don't mean like, just like, sounds like we can't take the police lightly. Yeah, you can, because they had everyone, they were able to interrogate every single person, and they didn't figure out shit. Like, clearly.
They interrogated literally hundreds of people, and they're all just like, oh man, if they saw how much I was panicking. Because, most people are extremely calm when being questioned by the police.
Yeah, just what you do is you want to ask, like, questions that seem to be, disarming. They're like, I hate to, like, give advice to any potential interrogators out there, but, like, here's how you do it.
So here's how you would torture a person.
Yeah, exactly. Well, your fingernail is one of the most sensitive areas. So what you do is
no, stop right now.
you just want to paint all their fingernails a different color and just tell them this is what I. Yeah.
Very true. That actually would that would catch me off guard.
Give them a little bit of a manicure, and if they're into it, go for the pedicure too. It just you know.
And at that point, you'll be probably like rank 6 or 7 in the social link, and you can probably start asking them some more prying questions.
Yeah, and then at that
Maybe
point,
hang out with them in the bathhouse.
Why are you cavorting with the daughter of this murdered man? And what do you know about the Phantom Thieves?
Yeah, she doesn't have friends. Yeah. You say you're a friend of hers?
I've talked to her. She's a complete dumbass. Why would anyone be friends with her? And then when you get to Haru, you have to be like, so Haru.
I'm talking to Mishima. Oh man.
Mishima seems like he would spill the beans in 5 minutes of intense interrogation.
But he doesn't fucking know anything. I mean, by the way, I would like to remind everybody right now that the main character is not, in fact, propagating some sort of cult of personality so that people to suppress people's wills and force them to give their entire lives over to him in servitude. That's just how characters like Morgana, Haru, and Mishima are written.
Mm-hmm.
He is not, in fact, some sort of mastermind who's starting a death cult of personality. Name of the episode, apparently.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yep, and right into this scene. Okay. You really don't even need to say. We're gonna see a scene where this happens anyway.
Yeah, and evil guy says evil things as is part of his evil plot. Why do we he's not even the main villain. Why do he might as well be the main villain. We spent so much time with him at this point. Yeah, make him the power behind the throne or something. Who cares? You're not.
It doesn't. None of this matters.
Also, why do people?
Oh, every time we just come down to it, it's just like this is just a bunch of bullshit anyway.
Why do people are people saying bloodthirsty killers like that wouldn't instantly get them 40% of any country? They'd be like, oh man, these guys are bloodthirsty killers. We can't support that. But it is kind of badass, actually. That's pretty cool.
No, I mean, eat the rich, right?
You're saying bloodthirsty killers? Yeah, they especially they're if you're gonna go after somebody like a burger CEO who mistreats his burgers, it feels like that would be a really good populist play that would get a lot of people in support. And
just you said, mistreats his burgers.
I thought that was stupid. They just went after a
that made me laugh.
Teacher, an artist. They went after a gym teacher, an artist, somebody else who gives a shit.
Kaneshiro. Yeah, remember Kaneshiro, the most notable of all the characters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just but now it's okay, well, they took down a CEO. They took him down. They
executed him live on television.
Uh-huh. And they didn't just take him down, but they got him to admit his crimes and then killed him while he's admitting.
And then they executed him.
That would be you could just that is pretty cold-blooded, and it's the presentation is just I don't know if I like that. I don't know. That's a little bit too far. That's boring. That's not how public. I know this game was made.
These guys should be arrested or something. But there is also the death cult people who are totally okay with that. I want that to be more of it. I wanted that to be more of a thing. That would be an interesting turn. Again, where the death cult of personality would have actually come out to shine.
Mm-hmm.
It's that would have been a pretty wacky twist. Where it's just no, we love it.
Mm-hmm.
Not enough, but clearly, I mean, it's you can literally see a percentage of how many people are into the death cult personality.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, still not quite at max. I'm at max of some of these things. I don't know, man. That's a dumb question.
Yeah. You know what? Let's. Matt doesn't kill.
Matt doesn't kill anyone. Says you. You don't know about the forbidden maths.
like what about the NSA algorithm?
What about imaginary numbers?
Or
you can't catch what doesn't exist.
The RSA algorithm, I should say, not the NSA. The prime number.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, it's cryptography. I don't know. I mean, yeah, math won the war. Won World War II.
Math won the war. It's true.
Yeah.
Look what they did to Pythagoras as well.
Yeah. They threw him off the ship when he said that the square root of 2 was all right. No, he did the killing. Yeah, so there's a lot of murders that happen with math. Like Archimedes, he invented that. That's probably who you're thinking about. Like with the, he was building weapons for that city where he was at, and then he got killed because he was too the Romans came and he was doing his freaking math and then get out of my shade.
We can't keep doing Persona 5 the math. We can't. We do it like every other episode at this rate.
Well, I guess it doesn't help that
I want to look. When was Persona 5 the math? How many episodes ago was it? And we're still doing it. Because I'm curious as of now. Yeah, Persona 5, the math. It was episode 33. Holy Christ!
Wow, so that was one of the first episodes that I was actually on. I think my first episode.
You were like 20. You came in at like 25 or something.
29, maybe. Yeah. I think 25 might have been the one where we started doing, where you did the Royal.
I think 29 was the Royal, but you were there for a couple episodes. I remember you were there for the early, late. You were basically there at the point in time where they were planning to sell the magic metal from the alternate universe.
I definitely
which was
remember. I was definitely doing that one.
About.
Yeah.
And I still think it's pretty fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
at this point in time, it's the death cult of personality, man.
They went to a hotel and they got a fancy meal, which I guess is charming. In retrospect, it's kind of stupid, but
God, it's in retrospect, it's like, man, that is like the least of my complaints at this point in time.
I love.
No, it's not. They're all equally bad.
I like that their comments are so stupid. It's like, oh, they think we're a murderer. Like, why do they think? How dare they?
Well, they're also saying things like, "Oh, everybody else was just a warm-up so that they could execute Ray Kroc live on television."
Yeah. Also, it's weird that they're not more afraid of being murdered themselves. I gotta say that.
If we can just mysteriously murder people live on television after forcing them to admit all their wrongdoings, it's like. You think that people would be more cautious about whoever's using the death note right now?
Well, I mean, you think that is to say, the main characters, should be a little bit more afraid of being murdered. Like, I mean,
at the same time, remember, you can't have a persona and a palace, so they're entirely safe from at least traditional. Well, they're entirely safe from everything except for traditional assassination methods.
Yeah. Which
this is a dumb thing that they established in the plot.
Which, by the way, which should be still a big concern because they just went after a huge CEO and they know that there are darker, bigger forces coming after them. Like, why wouldn't they?
Well, that are willing to kill, but at the same time, it's like, if you actually kill a person, then again, what am I saying? They went through the whole rigmarole of blaming Futaba for Okaba's death, when it's just like, they killed her in the alternate universe that nobody knows about.
Mm-hmm.
These people are idiots. Everybody's so fucking stupid, it's entirely possible that it's like, yeah.
Oh, like, I love that, okay, Gore totally went back on that when it was becoming unpopular. He didn't go all the way back, but he was like, well, it is pretty unpopular, so I guess I'll, bow to public opinion a little bit here.
So I won't tell you. It's not that he said that I recant. He just said, I'm going to be a little bit more taciturn with some of my opinions right now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like, why'd they even have him on fucking television? At first, I thought it was because, the bad guys were paying for him to constantly be on television because that was part of them building up a fan base. But I don't know. That was maybe giving the writers a little bit too much credit. I don't know, man. Maybe it's because I'm good friends with him and he knows that I'm part of the Phantom Thieves. He didn't see me go into the palace and everything.
Yeah.
like, let's.
I
mean,
think
we could just do, we could just do that, but we got to figure out the logistics of meeting up first.
who's gonna be
That's
the
also another. That's another old Persona thing that I haven't talked about in a while, where they just fucking love talking about logistics, about like meeting and taking trains and stuff like that.
They do everything about logistics except actually accomplishing things.
Yeah. No, they can't be particular about that methodology. Nope, certainly not.
Is Goro the next party member? Who's the next party member?
He's the only party member left.
Okay.
Because remember, they fucking put it like right on the cover, my dude.
Why would they do that? Like, and then make it
do
like,
that.
like, why would they?
I think that
That's it. That's fine. But like, why would you do that and then make it a big like melodramatic thing to introduce the party members and act like they're not necessarily going to be party members? What's the point?
Well, I mean, dude, I don't have any explanation.
I mean, and the thing is, Haru kind of came out of nowhere, and like, I still
look,
don't.
they dressed up the Kichijoji thing to be more Halloween related. That's
Nice.
cute.
Yeah.
I like that. In fact, they do have actually like a lot of various Halloween decorations around here, which I like.
I like that people are like, they're assassins, famously just unpopular assassins, like famously, like, there's
as opposed to the famously popular assassins.
No, I'm joking, like famously, like, oh yeah, they're assassins. I hate assassins. Assassins are not cool, man.
I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of movies. And let me tell you, these guys are not Leon the Professional. None of them.
Yeah.
Maybe Yusuke. But he's not bombastic enough for that. Yeah. Yo, guys. This is our plan.
Our plan is to show off these new outfits.
Oh, no, I guess they're technically not new. I'm pretty sure that these are more or less what everybody was wearing at the start of the game.
I suppose.
But, I guess we didn't really see, like, Haru and Makoto.
Uh-huh.
Like, the only other time we ever saw Makoto prior to this point was in the library.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, Yep. And that's what we're going. I mean, we might as well.
Honestly, this is
Certainly, we can't like talk to him more about like information that he might have or anything like that right now.
Well, I mean, this is one of the first things that the fan updates are doing that isn't completely useless, and they're like really on the fence about it.
Okay, fine, you got me.
That was
Just in case anybody thought that was real, which I don't fucking know at this point.
That was a great bit. Like, I know you very, very, you don't do a lot of these jokes like that, but that was really well done.
I'm so dedicated to trying to make it accurate, though. It's like I feel bad that I even put that in there.
No, don't feel bad. That was great. That was like the funniest thing you've done.
All right, it's the transcript will be correct. Okay. Anyway, yes. It's just. By the way, we got another scene coming up. In about 5 seconds here that is even stupider.
Honestly, this scene isn't that stupid except for the fact that it was poorly presented. Like, they're just saying, like... I don't know. It's not
Ryuji,
that...
don't fucking question it. Just let it happen here. Like, look, we don't... This is our best shot of being like, Keiichi, please save us. No. Oh, jeez. We murdered Ray Kroc live on television. You're the only one that can help us. Look, nobody liked Ray Kroc, but murdering him on television was maybe a step too far.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he just wanted to provide the world with Happy Meals.
He wanted to if I could give the world a happy... I'm trying.
I know what you're trying. Yeah.
You know what I'm going for here, but it's... Oh boy, Yoshizawa, you dodged a bullet. Like, oh man, you got like nothing to say about that, by the way.
Yeah, I
Like,
like
I
this is
feel
just
like-
a normal social link. Just all right, let's hang out.
Like, yo, you don't got any questions or anything?
Like, I like that they're just
Like, I feel.
yeah, they're just going out in public talking to the same people.
I said this before, but it's just like, yeah, what do you think like being accused of murder is going to change here? Not
Mm-hmm.
much, as it turns out. It's yeah, I said in the last episode that it's just like, it's about on the level of becoming too popular and feeling pressure to do more things.
Yeah.
Murdering Ray Kroc executing Ray Kroc live on television.
Listen, they didn't do it. They were just framed. They were somebody else.
I also said in the last episode that I'm going to just start acting like they did. Fuck it.
I think someone else had to have been involved with executing Ray Kroc live on television.
With turning Ray Kroc into a bloody unconscious mess live on television.
Well, I always knew that he would bleed chocolate sauce before he died. Like that would be the last thing.
Maybe he was actually like a zombie or something.
I think it's more
Can't
of
kill
like
a dead man.
I think it's kind of like a Freudian thing because it's like if you're filled with chocolate sauce and you make a fast food restaurant that primarily serves burgers and at most like ice cream, like some McFlurries or something. I just think it's like psychological. You're filled with chocolate. You're delicious, but people can't have you. They can't have you.
Are we presupposing the fact that Ray Kroc is the prime candidate for cannibalism in your mind?
But like just self-cannibalism. I mean, sure, he likes the chocolate. Just
I don't know, man. I get
available.
nosebleeds a lot. I don't really like the taste of blood. But then again, I suppose I'm not a prominent burger baron.
Well, it's irony.
Nah, more like
I mean, it's ferric. It tastes like
trying
iron.
to think of. Yeah, I tried.
Uh-huh.
I was just like, come on, there's got to be you got to think faster.
Like, yeah, blood kind of tastes like a spoon, but it's like not like a knife because that tastes like blood.
Licking a piece of rusty rebar. Gross, and I hate it.
I don't know. We're really losing the thread here.
By the way, I thought there was going to be another scene here, but I guess that's the next episode. It's a good thing we're recording it immediately after this.
Yeah. Perspocalypse or Personacalypse continues.
Oh, the Purse Meltdown, the Persona 5, 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 the Persona 5.
Number nine.
We still have 10 seconds left. I can't do that for another 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's a little bit much.
Oh, man, how are we going to get Akechi to agree to this? Ah, jeez, you guys.
It's never going to happen.